Hello, everybody. It's me, Hazer. And, I've been getting a lot of people coming up to me in the street and saying, Hazer, what is going on with the SCC playoffs? What are these games? How did they come about? What do these games mean? Who's on the teams? It's like every time I go outside, which is not that often. So I decided I would just make a video about it because you've all been clamoring for it non-stop. Just a video about the SCC playoffs, which will be starting tomorrow, Friday, the 25th of June. So yeah, we're just going to talk about what's going on with it, what's on the line. We'll go through the article. I'll talk a little bit about the teams and what I expect to happen. And then hopefully that'll be a YouTube video. I know I've not recorded in a while. Been busy. Still am busy. But, got time to record this. It's a quick one. So let's go. Let's get into the article. Let's start off. Phase 1 circuit playoffs. I'm in the top right now. Hello. Dates, format, schedule, blah, 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 blah. Double elim bracket, which is cool. Best of 3 and everything except for the grand finals. And the winners bracket finals will have a 1-game advantage. So I like this tournament format. It's only 4 teams, which is a bit grim, but 4 teams from each region, that is. There's an EU one and an NA one. We can have a look at the teams that have qualified. Elysium, this is Adapting's team. They're pretty good. They've had a very good season, only dropping a single set, I believe, to Pandemonium, which is Streak Up's team. Then you've got the Accounting Department, otherwise known as Old Rival, and Snake Hunters, which is Vaporish Coast and Co. On the other side, you've got Sturdy Artisans. I don't think they dropped any sets in NA. I could be wrong, and apparently without scrimming as well, so that's crazy. That's Sino and Stewart and Co. The Tiburones de Tijuana, the Sharks, which is Guy J's team. Herculean Hoofs, which is Baskin's team that you would think, looking at name power alone, would probably dominate the NASCC, but really haven't lived up to the hype, in my opinion. And then you've got the Winter Dogs, which is Andenster and Aquarius's team. And I'm just kind of picking random names and saying them. It's been a while since I watched SCC, but at least I remember that much. Yeah. We got brackets. Is there anything interesting going on broadcast-wise? So on Friday, starting from 11 ET, that's 4 UK time, 5 Central European time. I don't know. I should really figure out what Pacific time is. I think you're 3 hours before this, so I think it's 8 a.m. But I forget. I'm pretty bad with my US time zones, but EU I do okay. But anyway, it's that time tomorrow, 11. I'm sure you can figure it out. And Saturday we'll have the lower bracket and the semifinals. Let's have a look at the brackets. I just unfull screen this and we can go and look at the European bracket first of all, and we can talk about what I think is going to happen. Now we get to the interesting bit, the bit where I have to put my reputation as an amateur scene expert on the line. Elysium versus Snake Hunters. This will be a decent matchup. I think Spud versus Coast is always fun to watch. I do expect Elysium to win. I think they're the best team from Europe right now. And I expect them to go through to the semis and Snake Hunters to drop down into the lower bracket. Pandemonium versus Accounting Department. I think this is a bit more interesting. Accounting Department kind of went on a run towards the end of Phase 1 the last few weeks, but then, well, not the last few weeks, but they went on a run from like the middle towards the end. But then I think some of their players, I'm going to pick on Deathwalker. Deathwalker lost interest in Smite again. He's not been playing the game. He's not been streaming the game. And I don't think he's a player like Variety or Benji who can just not play the game and still perform at these top levels. I think he really needs to have his finger on the button of the meta and understand what's going on. And for that reason, I think the Accounting Department are going to struggle here. I think Pandemonium are going to take the win, in fact, and move on. And Accounting Department drop down into the losers bracket to play against Snake Hunters, where they will again lose, in my opinion. We'll see. That's a bit of a bold one, but we'll see. I've got Pandemonium firing through into losers round 2. Elysium then beat Pandemonium. Pandemonium dropped down. Pandemonium beat Snake Hunters, and then Elysium beat Pandemonium again. That's what I expect to see. Hard to say what'll go on. You never know what's going to happen on game day. But that's my EU prediction. NA. I'm really firing through this video. We're not even at 5 minutes. It's just going to be a very short video. Who knows? What the hell is this? Okay. Website. Working as intended. Next up, you've got NA. So you've got Sturdy Artisans, Winter Dogs. Oh, it's worth noting, these teams did come through. So the 4th seed in each bracket came through a playoff to get here. I'm not sure what the format of the playoff was. I know in EU, I think it was Snake Hunters plus, are they still called Team Joystick and Thunderhead? The 2 top teams from the EU SOC. So that's Sapling Man and E-Chrome's team. And Thunderhead is like another all Spanish team. They were in the playoffs up against the Snake Hunters, and the Snake Hunters won. I don't know what the format was. I don't know if it was streamed, and I don't know who was even in it in NA. But the Winter Dogs must have come out of it victorious, so that's why they're the 4th seed. So Sturdy Artisans will play against the Winter Dogs. The Artisans, I think, will come through this. I think it'll be a decent set. I think the Winter Dogs have come along as I've watched them over the season. They've been doing weird things, like sometimes Andy's been in support in Gamma's jungle, I think. I don't really know what they're doing right now, the Dogs, but yeah, I think the Sturdy Artisans probably win that one. And then you've got the Tiburones, the Tijuana, Sharks from Tijuana versus the Hoofs. And this is a good matchup. So the Tiburones definitely started the season the better of the two. The Hoofs have come into it as it's gone on. I think they've realized they've got to try. I don't know if it's. I shouldn't really say this, but I think I'm going to say anyway. I think they've realized they got to try a little bit harder than they were to start off the season. Maybe they had stuff on. I don't know, but they were really struggling at the start and they looked really poor. But now they're starting to look all right. They're coming back in and starting to perform a little bit better. I think the Artisans win the first one. Then I think, God, I feel like NA is much harder to predict for me. Maybe just because I don't follow it as well, I suppose. I mean, I know all the EU guys. I'm going to say the Hoofs show up on game day and get through to the semi-final. And then we've got the Sharks versus the Dogs. As we all know, depends on the terrain. So if this is on land, the Dogs probably win. If this is in water, I think the Sharks got it comfortably. And I'm going to say it's going to be a wet day. It's going to be a wet day. The Sharks are going to take down the Dogs and move on to the losers round 2, where they'll play against the Hoofs, who will have lost in the semi-final to the Sturdy Artisans. Although you never know, Sturdy Artisans could finally fall down. But they just, I don't know. They're just different. Sino's just built different. He just plays Sino. He plays Sino. He plays ESET. And chat, demonetize me now, YouTube. He plays ESET jungle. It's crazy. You know ESET, right? You know what ESET is. Hydrate. Stay hydrated, chat. Losers round 2. The Sharks come back. No, I'm just going for fun. I beat the Hoofs. The Sharks, they learned their lesson from the drafts. They made a mistake in the draft in round 1. They adjust in losers round 2, and they take this a close one, 2-1. The Sharks just outsmarting the Hoofs there. They get rid of Baskin's signature pick. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's a Morrigan. Maybe it's a Toth. Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it's something else. But they get rid of it, and then they go on and they go to the final where they lose to the Sturdy Artisans, and the Sturdy Artisans are your NA champions. That's what I think. That's what I think's going to happen. Hopefully that was illuminating, at least a little bit. I know I just talked a load of nonsense for a bit, but yeah, that's what's going on with the NA SCC and the EU SCC playoffs. Should be fun to watch. I think it's always interesting. So the last competitive games we'll get to see with boots as well, right? Crazy changes coming through. Some people have been asking for me to do a video on that. We shall see if I can think of how to do a video without just going through that load of patch notes. But yeah, maybe I'll do something a little bit more production heavy. Maybe I'll take some time. But I'm so bad at production stuff. Much better at just turning on a camera and talking, I think. Well, I mean, you can be the judge of that. Leave a thumbs up if it was good. Leave a thumbs down if it was bad. Hopefully see you tomorrow for the games, Friday. I'll be starting from 4 UK time, 11 ET. Hopefully, unless someone comes up at work, in which case I might be slightly late. But let's hope that doesn't happen. Let's not will that into life with mentioning it. Yeah, game should be good. I'm looking forward to it, and I shall see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye, everybody.